Hey, what's going on everybody? So today we're going to be taking a look at the MSI Z370 Gaming M5 motherboard. We're going to be doing an unboxing and quick overview and close look of the board itself. I will be doing a build based on this motherboard here in the future, so stand by for that. But for now, let's go ahead and unwrap this thing and see what it looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box, but before we take a look at the board itself, let's go ahead and see what kind of peripherals, other things that you get, the extras that you get with the motherboard itself. I have noticed that with the top tier motherboards, you get a little extra accessories, like stickers, case, badges, and those small little things. So we're going to be taking a look and see what kind of goodies we get with this board here itself. Here you have your installation guide, which we're not going to use really. Your driver CD we're not going to use either, because we're going to go to the website and get the latest drivers. And here you have your SATA stickers, so you can label which SATA cable goes to where, DVD-ROM or your SSD, your hard drive, whatsoever. And here is your user manual. This is pretty handy, so I will go ahead and keep that one. Next up here you have 2 SATA cables. You get a total of 4 SATA cables. 2 of them have a 90-degree angle, which is pretty handy for when you install the hard drive in a tight space. And this one here is your RGB cable. Followed by a nicely decorated back plate. And this one here is also padded, which is a really nice touch. With this board you also get a high bandwidth SLI bridge, which is not one of the nicest looking bridges out there, but it isn't ugly either. It's actually nicely built, and it has that matte black PCB color, same matte black color as the motherboard itself, with the MSI Dragon on it. So I actually don't mind it. I don't mind how it looks. I actually thought it was a pretty nice touch-up by MSI there. And now to the best part of this whole unboxing, the case badge. I thought this was pretty neat, although I'm not sure if I'm going to use it on the case in the build that I'm going to be doing with this motherboard, but I thought it was a nice touch by MSI as well. Okay, so it's time to get to the meaty part. And this is the first time that I've actually bought a higher end motherboard. I've never actually owned like an enthusiast motherboard. I've never done that. I've always gone for the entry-level Z series motherboards, just for the sole purpose of allowing me to overclock. But this motherboard here, I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I wanted to check this thing out and see how far I can push my 8700K. I currently have my 8700K set to 5 GHz, but I know I can squeeze a little more juice out of it. But for that, I think I will need something with better power delivery. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at the board itself. Starting here at the top, left corner, you have your CPU power connector. This one here is your CPU fan header. To the right of this fan header, you have your flashback button there that you can use to flash back to an older BIOS if you wish to do so. And this one here is your pump header. Another thing that caught my eye is that I noticed that MSI is using, I think this is a 1mm thermal pad, which is really nice to make sure that you get that heat sink as close as you can to the VRMs there for optimal cooling performance. And as you can see here, MSI is also using metal plating around the memory DIMMs here. They call this steel armor, which they typically use on their PCI Express slots. This gives the memory DIMMs here better durability. Here you also have another system fan header. And right above it you have your debug LED lights. And here you have 102 USB 3.0 front panel connectors. And right down here you get a total of 6 SATA connectors. These are of course SATA 3. And right over here you have another fan header. And right down here also you have your front panel connectors, followed by your second front panel USB 3.0 port. You also get 2 USB 2.0 ports here at the bottom as well. Down here you also get another fan header, followed by debugging LED lights. These are numeric here. And to the left of the lights there, you also have your RGB port. Moving on here, you have your second M.2 port, and this one here has the M.2 shield in case you decide to throw a second graphics card right over it. This will help keep your M.2 card cool. Moving up here, now we see your other M.2 port here, and the last fan header here on this board. This makes a total of 6 fan headers, including the pump header. This board also features an 11-phase power delivery system, which is particularly interesting for those of us who like to overclock. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the I/O ports here. Here, starting from the top left, you have your PS2 port for your legacy keyboard and mouse. You have 2 USB 2.0 ports. You have your BIOS reset switch, which is a nice touch to have this. You also have another USB port for flashing your BIOS. You have a display port. You have HDMI port, Type-C connector there. You have 3 USB 3.1 ports, your killer E2500 gigabit Ethernet port. You have your 8-channel out along with an optical audio out. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the back of the motherboard. Right there to the top left, you see the extra solder ports at each corner of the memory DIMM slots there. That's what MSI calls steel armor. That's just extra solder points. Same here as your on your PCI Express slot here at the back of it. You see the extra solder points here. This gives a better durability, better stability for those heavy graphics cards. You also see the extra solder points there on your secondary PCI Express slot as well. Overall, the board looks very well made, top quality here. This is what I would expect from MSI, especially at this price point. And another feature that I almost forgot to mention here is that you can run a RAID setup here with 2 M.2 cards if you choose to go that route. And let's not forget the 16.8 million RGB colors that you can choose with this motherboard, and also 17 different effects. This is a pretty nice little board, especially if you're RGB crazy, you like all the colors and all that stuff. Particularly for me, that's not of any interest, but it is a nice feature to have. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. I will be following up on this board here with the build, and I will let you guys know what I think, if having a higher power delivery system actually makes a difference when overclocking a processor like the Intel i7-8700K. Currently I have this processor installed on the MSI Z370 Gaming Plus motherboard. This one here has I believe it is a 7-phase power delivery system. So I will update you guys and see if there is an advantage there. Anyway, for now, this is all I got. You guys subscribe. Please hit thumbs up if you like the video. If not, you know what to do. You guys take care, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.